Hi everybody, this is Bali Kahel. I'm your instructor in these labs. Today's lab actually is very interesting, and it is around a very important topic, which is basically collecting information of a target using your email and email tools. And this is basically tracing your emails. I mean, this is the era where you have to be really careful about spams, and you have to understand that spams kind of can be can introduce you to some or introduce you to some malicious software, even get some sensitive information out of you as a user, right? So, so a major part of doing reconnaissance when it comes down to an ethical hacker, and since you guys are taking this training, that is where you are heading towards, right? Is basically getting to understand what you need to do when you see an email address which is a little fishy, So then you can basically apply. I'll teach you in this lab that how what tools you can use to use tracing of emails. And there's a tool which is Email Tracker Pro. We'll be using that tool. This will basically give you a lot of information, right? So let's first go to Google. And since I said we need a tool for this, that is the Email Tracker Pro. And if you enter, it'll basically get you to a point where you can download it. And always, I always tell you that whenever you're downloading anything, make sure you're downloading it on from authentic website, right? Or from the original website, or from the maker's website, I would say. So so that is the first thing that you need to do. Let's download it, and once you have all right. So now, a few things you need to understand also for Email Tracker Pro is since I talked to you about spam, right? So a lot of spam is down there. These days we get our mailboxes flooded with spam if our spam filters are not working properly or not doing their job. And the spammers are very crafty, so they basically make sure that they keep on changing, keep on evolving their strategies. And we have the Nigerian scams, we have everything is out there, right? So we have to be basically very, very careful when it comes down to making sure that not use spam, not be part of a spam. So Email Tracker Pro, right, is a tool which helps you read the headers of an email. And headers, I'll show you how important they are, and how you can use them basically. So Email Tracker Pro is your tool. It'll give you, as you can see, it'll give you the trace information. It'll also give you the spam filter information, and it also gives you the geographical location of where the email was originated from, and what are different touch points which it made reaching to you and in your inbox where you're opening and reading it, right? So that is the first thing. So you need to understand this tool, and you need to see that how it has important information there, spam filters, and also it helps you check against reporting abuses. It's been built into as part of it also, right? So now, first thing is downloading it. I have already downloaded it initially, so I don't want to put extra time of the lab in just downloading it. The only thing about Email Tracker Pro is it takes a long time to install it. So let's start with the installation, and let's go through next, agree. Let's go through the default settings here, and let's click install. All right, so now it started installing, and that's the Email Tracker Pro, and it will basically go in, and it'll take some time, as I said before, to so in the meantime, let me get you introduced to some of the key things which are happening out there when it comes down to spam, right? And how spam is affecting everybody these days, and that there are different ways you can protect yourself, right? So how does Email Tracker Pro literally help us, right? So The main things about this tool is that it basically analyzes your routes of your email to pinpoint where the sender or where the originator was. The second thing which you need to know about this tool is that it is easily integrated to your email systems which are out there, your Outlook or any other email client which you're using, and and it's easy for you to have full access to it. And also, you can send spam compilations to the spammers or the ISP, and it's very comfortable and easy to do that using this tool itself, right? And some of the negatives I would say is that it is very rigid in its header analysis, and I'll once I'm kind of showing the tool to you, you will come to know. The other tools which are more smoother too, but it does a good job in identifying it. And also another thing is that it basically has it can be a bit cumbersome sometimes, when it comes down to what you're trying to do with it, how you're trying to do with it also, right? Um, so as you see, the tool is still downloading. We're trying to get down to a point where it's going to take a little bit more time, I would say. But yeah, so also, like, another good thing about this tool is that it can send spam reports, and also it supports all the it's a Windows based tool, just to let you know. It supports all the different versions for Windows, and then on the internet, the things you can do anonymously these days is not even funny. And spammers, they actually use all these different tactics, techniques, that hey, you won a lottery, send me your bank account, and I will transfer you $1 million just because, and there's like a $50 fee or $100 fee for it. And there are all these spams out there. These are Nigerian spams, and different kinds of spams, which these days people get. And it could be like, if you're in sales or marketing, you could get a hacker's email saying that, hey, open up this invoice and pay, and or open up this check in a PDF or in a document format, and then open it up, and then there's a malicious virus or or like a malware which basically overtakes and takes control of your system, and or silently sits there and opens a backdoor to your computer, for that matter. You can also do a lot of analysis with this, and I'll show you how Email Tracker Pro is helpful in doing that. You can set up email accounts in Email Tracker Pro, both to avoid if you don't need to like do pasting of headers and to have suspect messages. So basically, you can basically integrate your accounts inside Email Tracker Pro. I'm not going to integrate an account here, but I'm just going to show you how you can easily analyze a header, and how you can share that information very naturally and clearly, and understand the power of the tool itself, right? And basically, to analyze an email header, there is a few things that you need to know about a header. That is your IP addresses, and based on these IP addresses, it will create a network topology. All right. Well, looks like it is we have a good progress going on in the install. In the meantime, let me also get you a little bit more familiar with the different things that you should know about this tool. There are these editions. There's the advanced edition of this tool, the Pro, and it is basically a paid one. We're going to use a free edition, and basically. This tool is liked by everybody in the ethical hacking industry, in the ethical hacking world, because the advanced edition, actually, it is pretty innovative, right? So, well, it just finished. So let me show you the tool. I know you guys are eager. I've kind of given you a little background about the tool, so you understand what the tool is all about. And now let's look at the tool, right? So here you go. That's the first look at the tool. It is pretty nifty, as I said. You can actually set up an account, which I was mentioning to you. You can basically connect to your POP account down here, and the menus. It's basically pretty intuitive. You can, we're going to check, mostly you're going to work on my trace reports. You can do clean filters, clean mail. Another good thing is it does a whitelist address and a blacklist address, which is pretty handy. And once you are dealing with multiple email accounts, you'll come to know. And it's got a pretty nice intuitive UI. And of course, you can have it in multiple languages also, right? So let's just first do one thing. Let's get the header. And how to get a header from a Google email is what I'm going to show you right now. Go to gmail.com. I'm going to pick up an account, which is basically my test account. And I'm going to sign into that account. And basically what the first thing you got to do is pick an email which you want to analyze, and click on it. And we're going to use this AVG team email. This looks like a survey, a customer care survey. When you have your from whoever is coming, then it's to me, and there's a small drop down there. I want you to click on that drop down and see what the basic information is, right? So let's do that. Let's click on it. It basically gives you a detail. It gives you from, to, date, subject, mailed by, signed by, encryption type is basically it's using TLS for SSL. Okay, it's a standard TLS encryption. So now let's see like how you can get more information about an email, right? So the right hand side, there's a drop down on every email when you're looking at a single email view. Click on that, and then basically click on show original. So this particular option, what it does is it gives you the original part of the original text of the email, which basically is hidden when it comes down to any email clients if you're seeing it in. And this has the header information in it. And in header information, you can see that this is basically, they've used Salesforce to send this survey out, the avg.com team. So, and also tells you that, what MX they're using. They're using Google and so forth. And there's enough information which our Email Tracker Pro will sniff from here. Okay. So now let's put the tool to work. Let's go to Email Tracker Pro, and first thing is we want to copy that email which I just showed you, the original part of the email, and we will let's see, like we have to trace the report. So let me just find the right spot here. Okay, in my inbox. No, I don't want to set up an inbox. I don't want to do that. So let's actually click on my trace reports. So let's copy this email out first as step one, and then let's jump to my receive emails. Okay, set up a new, no, I don't want to set up a new account. File, yeah, okay, I was in my inbox and I don't have an inbox, so but I want to trace headers. So this, you have to make sure that you're set up in the file option, the top, so that you don't get confused as I did right now. You just saw it. So, but anyhow, so if you click on trace here, like trace header, and it'll basically give you this option. Your content will be copied, and now next thing you just need to do is my trace report. So basically now it's analyzing it. As it goes and analyzes it, it will so just click on my trace report. So it's basically validating your routes to sender. It's then 29%. It's basically going in and backfilling all the data for you, like what routes were taken, and this all information it is basically building on what it's read from the header of that email which you have pasted in, along with the full original text of the email, right? So you can see like it's doing a global visualization of the map, and it's basically on the right hand side, you see that there are some reports which start coming out. There's a table which starts telling you the hops, different hops, the IP addresses, my current IP address, and then also the IP address of other locations, and in this, we are using a server which is in India. So in India, and then the originator is basically in San Francisco, California, right? So you can easily see that what all route it's taking. On the right hand side, if you look at the email summary, it basically tells you a similar kind of summary which your email clients will show you. And but in here, if you see it, it adds in a location, right? And also it has some extra parameters that the misdirected no abuse address. It puts an abuse address for Salesforce, abuse reporting, IP address is also there, and there is other information which you would use, right? That there is no HTTP server running on the system, and there is no FTP server running. So all that information is built up. So now let's look at the network whois report. So network whois report is basically giving us details around the network itself. So what is this network like? What is the net range for this? What are the different types of parent net type, and also other network related information, which becomes really handy when it comes down to looking at whois for the network itself, right? So all right, so now let's look at another thing. Okay, all right. So network has a lot of information in there. You can use whatever you want, but even it has phone numbers listed, and this is the whois for the network itself, right? And as I told you, it's like Salesforce, so we're going to get all Salesforce information, right? So next is the domain whois, and again it's a Salesforce based tool. So we're gonna get Salesforce information here. Tons of whois data comes up. Even their servers, their phone numbers, extensions, addresses, everything. And then there's basically the email header is the last on the right. This is basically what you had copied. All the different email headers are basically taken out from there, right? So all the delivered to, received, like who it was sent to, and then you can also now, based on this email header, you can see like the map which is drew, and this is the correct geographical map, and I picked up the farthest destination for it to go, just because then you can see like how it builds out, how it hopped to like Australia also in between, and Germany, and then UK, and then Canada, and so the whole route by itself, so it's the destination, where it is going, and from where it is originating, and eventually it basically went to Bangalore in India, and that's where the ISP main servers are, and that's where it's serving it from, right? So and then it comes to your IP address, local IP address. So another thing is there is a report. So this report, you can click on the tool and you can see the view report. So, and this is like report you can share also if you need to with your admin or with somebody else in your team. And this has your network contact information, domain contact information, in-depth introduction to this email, the IP addresses which it's using, because basically first thing it goes in and it tries to find that IP address, right? Because when you need to have an exact match for that, and they have a database which basically does that for you, and then it basically maps out, hey, it's San Francisco. The originator was from San Francisco. Company is based in San Francisco, which has been used to send this email out to you. So now when you're doing reconnaissance, and doing information gathering, this is a pretty important piece of the puzzle which you need to know, and you need to understand that it helps you when we're talking about tracking, like say in this case AVG, right? So again, like let's kind of go over what we did. We kind of went through our Google, got the original message. We took the Google message. We basically went to the file option, and then we went to the trace header option, and in that you have basically your details were copied in there, and once the details are copied, then you can run a report on it, right? And once you run a MyTrace report, it basically gives you a full network topology. You can get email summary, network whois, domain whois, email headers, IP addresses, and this is like the trace route kind of a scenario where it basically goes through all the hops, which all the different networks, right? And you can also do a few other things here. You can trace addresses, and you can put up an email address, and you can trace that address and go back and forth in that tracing area too. Also, this tool, um, I mean, we can put an address down here and trace it, but I would want you to also play with it, download this tool, and use its power. So any email address you can put down here. I'm going to just use Gmail addresses just because Gmail addresses are freely available and anybody can use them, right? So first I showed you was how to trace an email using its original email information, and now I'm showing you how to basically plug in an email address and then trace it, where does it originate from, and some information around it. So in this case, of course, Google is based in Mount View, California. So it's basically gone in, done a map for us, and then basically it's giving us, because I mean, this is it's showing you what this where this company is located, and getting some system information around it, network host information, domain host information. All that information has been gathered, right? This can be used for any email ID. Usually it works really good when you're searching for any company's email ID, right? Other things that you need to do is there is this DNS blacklist servers option, which is there under settings. You can use that. There is mail accounts you can add. You can do column choices if you want to add or remove more columns. It's pretty configurable, I would say, for how it is built. You can if you click on help, there's a basic help options are there. Your FAQ is there, which is pretty good. When you're starting with a tool, you need that. Yeah, let's switch to file, and then let's go to home. So home basically is our this is the email which we kind of the trace which we did on a particular email, right? So I would want you to understand each and every part of this tool, because when you're using this tool, you need to be 100% certain that what you're trying to get, what information you're trying to fish for, right? And again, understanding all the network information and making sense of it is also something as ethical hacker you should know. So that's what we go over in the class and teach you. All right. So now I think so. This tool is we've covered two scenarios again. Also, these reports, you need to go through these reports, the HTML reports, and these are shareable. You can save them locally and share them also, and use them to share with your security and network teams, right? So understand the reports. I mean, the view reports, the new trace, how the report looks like, the different aspects of the report. I mean, this report is basically pretty detailed, I would say. And if you need some extra information, or if you think that's something that you didn't understand correctly, just reach out to us. Use the community of developers and of other ethical hackers, or people who are searching or getting trained, right? And I wish you all the best in using this tool. And again, we are here to help you. All right. Thanks for joining this particular lab. I'll see you in the next lab. Thank you. Bye bye.